It's all words. It's all sound bites.
I have a feeling they're going to be blamed for everything.
Why not?
Why not? Trumped up,
All talk,
racist.
no action.
That is just
Beautiful.
not accurate.
Wrong.
National debt of the United States.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I prepared to be president,
Never going to happen.
and I think that's a good thing.
She doesn't have the stamina. She doesn't have the stamina. You need tremendous stamina.
Shake, shake, shake. 'Cause the players wanna play.
The question from Patrice was about, are you both modeling positive and appropriate behaviors for today's youth? You described kissing women without consent, grabbing their genitals. That is sexual assault.
No, I didn't say that at all. I don't think you understood what was said. This was locker room talk. Locker room talk. It's locker room talk with ISIS. Of ISIS. ISIS. I will take care of ISIS.
Questions
Well, am I
from
allowed to
online.
respond to that? So she's allowed to do that, but I'm not allowed to respond.
You're going to get to
Sounds fair.
respond right now.
That sounds fair. I am a person who has great respect for people. Bill Clinton was abusive to women, and I was so surprised to see him sign on with the devil. But if I win, we're going to have a special prosecutor. There has never been anything like this where emails, 33,000 emails, 2 boxes of emails.
Everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised.
Really?
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
And now she's saying there wasn't anything wrong. And more importantly, that was after getting
And I've said it before, but I'll repeat it because I want everyone to hear it. That was a mistake.
States Congress. And I'll be honest, I am so disappointed. 39,000 emails.
Please allow her to respond. She didn't talk while you talked.
Yes, that's true. I didn't.
Because you
I
have
didn't
nothing
in
to
the
say.
first debate. I'd like to get to the questions that the people have brought here tonight to talk to us about.
And get off this question.
Okay, Donald.
I'd like to know, Anderson, why aren't you bringing up the emails?
And Secretary Clinton, I do want to follow up on the emails.
You
We
get
brought
to
up the
bottom.
emails.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. And it hasn't been finished at all. Nice to 1 on 3.
That first one goes to Secretary
Thank
Clinton
you.
because you started out the last one to the audience.
No, I'm a gentleman, Hillary. Go ahead.
Secretary Clinton?
But here's what I don't want people to forget. When we're talking about reining in the costs, which has to be the highest priority.
On
I
this.
just wanted just one thing.
Look-
First of all,
let
Hillary,
me-
everything's broken about it. Everything. From certain areas of the world. Hillary Clinton wants to allow.
And
Hundreds
why
of
did it
thousands.
morph into
Excuse
that?
me.
No,
Excuse
did
me.
you? No, answer the question.
Why
Do
don't
you still
interrupt
believe?
her? You
I
interrupt
do.
me all the time. Why don't you
Would you
interrupt her?
please to move on
Excuse
to
me.
an online question?
She just went about 25 seconds over her time.
She
Could
did
I
not.
just respond to this, please?
Very quickly, please.
We have it on tape. The entire press corps has looked at it. It's been debunked, but it never stops him from saying whatever he wants to
Has not
say.
been debunked.
So please
Has not been debunked. And
go to HillaryClinton.com and you can see it.
I was against the war in Iraq. Has not been debunked. So ridiculous. Look, I know nothing about Russia.
I'm sorry I have to keep saying this, but he lives in an alternative reality.
Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes?
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Well, here we go again. I've been in favor of getting rid of carried interest for years, starting when I was a senator from New York. But that's not the point here.
Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do
Allow
it?
her to respond.
Because I was a senator with a Republican president.
Oh, really?
I will be the
You could
president
have done
who
it.
will
If
get
you
it
were an
done.
effective, if
That's
you were an
exactly
effective
right.
senator, you could have done it. If you were an effective senator, you could have done it. But you were not an effective
Please allow her to
senator.
respond. She didn't interrupt you.
Mentioned that.
She said a lot of things. that
You-
were
you
false. I mean, I think we should
We
be
can
allowed
no,
to maybe
Mr. Trump. We're going to
dispute
go
it,
on. This
because
is
she has
about
been
the
a
audience.
disaster as a senator.
Mr. Trump,
A
we're
disaster.
going to move on.
Make it a sneak attack. How stupid is our country?
Gonna
You know,
move
it's funny.
on.
She went over a minute over, and you don't stop her. When I go 1 second over, it's like
You
a
had
big deal.
many
It's
answers.
really very
got
interesting. Let me tell you, if she's president of the United States, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to be talk.
Women to women, women. We are great because we are good. When they go low, you go high. If you don't vote for me, I still want to be your president.
Your
I
2
want to
minutes
be
is
the
up.
best president I can be for every American. Because he has also targeted immigrants, African Americans, Latinos, people with disabilities, POWs, Muslims, and so many others.
Good evening. My question to both of you is, regardless of the current rhetoric, would either of you name one positive thing that you respect in one another?
Mr. Trump, would you like to go first?
Well, I certainly will, because I think that's a very fair and important question. Look, I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald. I don't agree with nearly anything else he says or does, but I do respect that. And I think that is something that, as a mother and a grandmother, is very important to me.
Well, I consider her statement about my children to be a very nice compliment. I don't know if it was meant to be a compliment, but it is a great. I'm very proud of my children. And they've done a wonderful job, and they've been wonderful, wonderful kids. So I consider that a compliment. I will say this about Hillary. She doesn't quit. She doesn't give up. I respect that. I tell it like it is. She's a fighter. I disagree with much of what she's fighting for. I do disagree with her judgment in many cases. But she does fight hard, and she doesn't quit, and she doesn't give up. And I consider that to be a very good trait.